Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special episode of PSD Eli 5 in celebration of Women's Day. Today, we are raising the volume of our microphones for the incredible lineup of beauty and brains and making waves in the PSD community. They will walk us through their journeys, discuss the challenges they faced as women in the tech industry, and explore how they overcame them. Finally, we will seal it with a kiss of advice from our brilliant ladies at the end of the X Spaces. With no further ado, please let us welcome the women in the BSB blockchain. Hi, Dr. Catherine, Sylvia, Raj, Becky, Didi, Rory, Alex, Malgosia, and Prosy. Hello.
Hello, great to be here with you, Chris.
Hello.
Hello, good day.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Happy International Women's Day.
Amazing. All right. So let's start. If you can quickly, please tell us your name, designation, and how you entered the BSB blockchain industry. Maybe we can start with our BSB ambassador, Dr. Catherine Lipoto.
Thank you very much, Chris. I always knew you would pick on me, and you know I do not like going first, but I shall just because I'm an ambassador and I will have to step up to the plate. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So, my name is Catherine Lipoto. I'm talking to you guys from Johannesburg, South Africa. How did I come to the BSV blockchain? COVID brought me to the BSV blockchain. 2 3 years ago, I was involved with leading the COVID response program for a small country that is an enclave here in South Africa called the Kingdom of Lesotho. And it was during that time that I got involved with a group of tech entrepreneurs in the United States that had developed a platform for vaccination verification. You would all remember that there was a time that the world was thinking that everybody would be vaccinated against COVID. But my interest or the mandate I had at that time was to try and help that small country influence its neighbor, its big neighbor, which is South Africa, to open the borders so that the people would be able to cross the border to come and work in South Africa. Now, the only way one was able to do that, according to the South African law, was they would have to present proof of vaccination against COVID. So that is pretty much how I got involved with blockchain technology. And from that point on, I started learning more about the technology itself and all the myriad use cases that it could be applied, to which it can be applied. And really, as far as I'm concerned, that is blockchain technology is probably the best thing that could have happened to solve many of Africa's social problems. And currently, I'm involved with implementing the technology for records in the education and health spaces. Nothing controversial anymore, nothing to do with COVID or anything like that. But that is what I do. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Catherine. Let's hear it from Didi.
Hello. Hello, good afternoon, good morning, greetings everyone, wherever you are. I hope you can hear me okay. I've got some wireless headphones in and they seemingly keep dropping out. Wonderful. Let's go back to about 2016, late 2016, early 2017. And that's kind of when I came across the blockchain space and in particular Craig and Ryan X Charles, and then there was Shenbu Spain and Satoshi, and so I started watching them, and then Joel Dale. So I used to have a friend who was my best friend who died last year because of complications due to vaccine, unfortunately, and he lives in Devon, which is where Joel lives. So I go and met Joel in person. So because I was watching that, I got extremely interested, and specifically, I know I've mentioned this before, but it was specifically because of the series that Craig and Ryan did about Bitcoin. Um, um, so I watched all of that twice over. So it was about 100 hours of learning directly from Craig and Ryan, and then Craig going through every single line of the Bitcoin white paper. And then I helped out with a data blast. So it was a 24-hour data blast and uploaded music. And so with Shem Boost Spain, and this was very early on when BSV had just kind of, taken it up on its own. And then kept an eye on everything. And then due to Satoshi, who is a great person and advocate for BSV, he is a crusader in this space. He basically started a group on Twitch for women and called it like basically women in BSV, women of BSV. And from there, we were invited on. Shem asked if I could get some of the ladies together, and we were invited on Shem's show. And it kind of escalated from there, where we did the women of BS3 for a bit. And then people have branched out on their own. So Rory, I know, has got her own show and she's doing really well. And I think Rory is an amazing person to go and learn from because she's such a professional when it comes to sort of presenting and teaching people. And I'm so happy that her show is doing really well. And then I came across Rebecca Legero, and I absolutely adore Becky because she's, again, is such a pro, and I learn a lot from them. So I would not say that I am an expert in this space at all, but I do keep as much as I can do to the Women of BSV on Twitter. The channel itself, I wasn't working, and I have other things that are interesting to me. So I specifically came across a guy called Ted Rivera, who is movies and music, and he was building a platform, basically so the writers, directors, producers can actually put their projects on and have people pay in BSV to support their projects. So very small independent filmmakers can do that. So that my background is theatre, sound, lighting. I used to be a sound engineer. I make music, I write, I've written a couple of films, I've written storybooks. I've also just won an international award, the International Indian Festival, so Best Women's International Indian Short Film Award for a short film that I've just produced, written, directed, and acted in. And I was acting. So that's where I'm from. I'm from the fact that I see that music, movies, art, and everything along those lines can really be accelerated through blockchain technology. So yeah, I know I'm rabbiting a bit. So that's kind of my side of things. And also Soundoshi, I have massive support for Soundoshi, and Shem is building a platform as well. So because I used to be a production manager, it was a very long time ago, about 18 years ago, but I've been acting for like the past 7 or 8, well, 10 years or so. That's why I kind of then got into doing all of the videos and asking people on the show and everything. But it got to a point where it was taking over my life, and I had to take a step back so that I could actually get my life back into order after lockdown. But I still try as hard as I can to keep up with everything that's in space. And I also am a part of the MetaNet ICU, which if nobody here is a part of the MetaNet ICU, I would suggest that you have a look at their website because there's a lot of developers in there and there's a lot of learning that goes on in there, and you can speak to Craig and learn from Craig in there as well. So that's a big up for the MetaNet ICU. So I'm in there on the philosophy class, and I do assist Craig with his online philosophy course as well. So I'm really, really grateful to have met everybody in this space and to have all of these opportunities. So that's that, and I do this voluntary. So there you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Didi. All right. Of course, we have Didi. We also have Rory, right? Rory.
Yes, thank you, Kaz. I'm so glad to be here with you and all of our fellows. I'll tell you that initially I had understood that Bitcoin was the first application of blockchain. And in the early days, I thought of it as a kind of global currency for gamers and for business people in online worlds. And I wasn't really playing any games at the time, so I just sort of let it be and, looked on it casually. But then I was working in the SaaS, or software as a service, cloud services industry, at a consultancy firm that was the outsourced sales and marketing service for big time brands like Microsoft Azure and many others. And it was then that I was told we were going to start a blockchain or Bitcoin blockchain campaigns. And I thought, wow, it has the business use cases. So I became more interested and looked into it and discovered there was a debate over block size. And I tuned into the minor debate in Bangkok and listened carefully at that time as there was a protocol with the ticker symbol BCH. And then there was the protocol with the ticker symbol BSV that was rapidly emerging. And I listened to different people that I respected and followed their lead really into BSV, even though the essential use case of large scale data processing as a throughput on the blockchain was very appealing to me. I wasn't quite sure who to rally for. So I followed some leaders in the space into BSV. And then I just saw huge potential after listening to Dr. Wright on some speeches he gave of the potential applications for the BSV blockchain to disrupt even the cloud industry. And I thought, hey, I want to give all my powers there. So I just abruptly left my career in Buckhead, Atlanta, and I went off on this quest to promote and grow businesses in the BSV blockchain ecosystem. And it was high risk, had no, nothing was sure, but I felt like Indiana Jones walking across the bridge, the sand bridge. And I went to London Blockchain Conference in 2020. And there was a lot of pushback at that time because a lot of folks were saying, don't travel. And I said, I must be there. So I showed up, and there I saw Stefan from Unisat and his wife, and I was most impressed with them. And I also met some fabulous people there that became my friends. And one person was Oliver, and we really talked a lot about applications for the BSV blockchain to disrupt in the recycling and particularly plastics recycling industry. So that was what we talked about most of the time. I had told my family, oh, I'm going to go try to find a job there. But it turned out no one was hiring. So, like Diddy says, I became a volunteer. And I currently continue to develop my skills, earn certifications in various industries of sales and marketing, as well as producing my podcast, which is Be in the Moment. And I would love to welcome all the ladies here today to be my guest and join in conversation as we learn and grow together in the leading edge of industry and economy for our day. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Rory. I forgot that I'm on mute. I'm so excited to see here with us Lawrence. Lawrence, are you with us? Okay, we'll get back to Lawrence, the lead operation of BSV blockchain. But please, now let's hear it from, of course, one of my favorite in the ecosystem, Rebecca. And Hello? Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, I can hear you,
Yeah,
Chris,
okay.
but
I'm not
I,
sure if I'm having
I
an
can't hear
internet.
Becky.
You can't hear Becky as well.
Yes, and also
No, I can't hear
Yeah,
Becky.
okay.
I cannot hear Becky, no, but I am an uber fan of Becky. I just think she's a superstar.
Yes, yes.
So she's someone also that I followed. I remember watching her videos, and then I saw her in person at the London Blockchain Conference, and I was too nervous to say hello. I just sat behind her and admired her gorgeous locks of hair.
Okay.
I was like, wow,
Becky, we can't hear
superstar.
you. Maybe we can jump first to Lawrence.
Hi, ladies.
And she's walking.
Yes, I'm on my way to a Women in Web3 event in Zurich.
That's super amazing. Can you quickly tell us your name, your current designation, and how did you get into the BSB blockchain industry?
Yes, so I'm Nos Lewandowska. I've joined about 5 months ago the BSV Association. And sorry, I'm out of breath. I just went uphill. I'm the Director of Finance and Operations at the association. I have a background originally in finance, like many, and recently in proof of stake protocol before joining BSV.
Yes, and you can enjoy your walking. And we will get back to you. Becky, are you with us now? Can you hear us? Still, we can't hear you. We will get back to you. Let's hear it first from Alexandria.
Hi guys. So I guess the question is how I get into this space and started working with blockchain in general. So it's been actually a while. I first came across Bitcoin over, I would say now 12 years ago. And I've been following Dr. Wright and the development in general. I started a couple of startups back in 2017, which was it was about the token sales, leveraging we were actually renting supercars using tokens, which was quite fun. It was right before the bubble. And then 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, I was asked to run the technical team at that point Bitcoin Association, and currently I am building my own startup, which is about mental well-being and blockchain. So one of my co-founders is actually here, Małgosia, and together we decided that blockchain is a perfect technology, which it's a perfect match for mental well-being. So we are developing a platform. Currently we've developed an MVP. It's a 28-day process, supporting self-discovery. We are leveraging blockchain technology to ensure the transparency of data, ensure that we are actually trying to run a global research program to ensure whenever the medical protocols which have been defined by the scientists are actually working, and to ensure that we've got auditability and transparency of our research, we are putting all those information on blockchain. So that's something that I'm actively working on at this very moment. And besides that, I'm also an angel investor in by BSV startups. One of my investment was actually mentioned earlier, the Soundoshi. So this is I was their actually very first angel. As Didi mentioned, they're doing amazing work. They recently actually signed a contract with Warner Music. And they're going to become the official music distributor for them, for Warner Polska. So just amazing team. So I'm so happy to be here. It is such an honor. I think I've met with majority of you guys either online or in person. So yeah, just thank you so much for the invitation, Chris, and again, lovely to be here.
Super, thank you. And use your voice, that kind of sexy husky voice. That's Alex. So we have Alex, of course. We have her partner Margosia.
Yes, hello. It's lovely to be here today because today actually we are launching our product, our MVP on the Polish market. My story of getting to know blockchain is pretty funny because it was a pure coincidence. I must say it was just that my friend asked whether I know someone who would like to manage the projects in the BSV association, and I said, well, I might be that person. And then I met Alex and her tremendous positive energy. Then I met you, Chris. Then I fell in love with the blockchain. But the first were women. This is very. It has to be, said that at first I fell in love with you, women in the blockchain, because you are so powerful, full of energy, full of new ideas, and I just felt that this is the place that I should be. That this is the place where I should be. So, like, to make this long story short, when I met Alex, I knew that and all of you guys, I knew that this technology is something that the world needs, and also that this technology actually needs women to be engaged. So then I was thinking about my passion and my personal interests and my hobby, which is actually mental well-being. And getting in touch with Alex, we have decided that we should run the startup that will take care of the mental well-being, and applying blockchain in that, it can be something that can be really game-changing. So hopefully, sooner or later, the blockchain technology will be adopted to this very, very important and crucial problem of the nowadays. Yeah. So here I am, a CEO of Trumi, a startup which engages the blockchain to the mental well-being applications.
Super, congratulations to that, Margosia and Alex. All right, Becky, are you with us now?
Okay, please tell me you can hear me.
Great. We can hear you now.
Okay,
Great.
it's freaking so typical because I had this nice setup with my professional microphone and nothing was working. So now I'm on my phone, but it's working. Thank you so much for having me, and Rory and Diddy, you guys are melting my hearts with your beautiful words. Thank you so much. Really happy to be here. So I am the reporter, producer, and writer for CoinGeek, or one of them, I should say. And gosh, how I got involved with blockchain, I just got really lucky, I would say, because I'd been working for Calvin Ayre for many years. I think I started working with him, it was 2009. And he brought Bitcoin to my attention, I want to say probably 2011 or 12, or even maybe before that, because the online gambling industry was really keen to learn about this new tech and how they could use it for payments. Payments is always a tricky thing in the online gambling world, and still can be, especially cross-border. And then as time went on, Calvin got more involved in blockchain, as you all know very well, I'd imagine. And then even today, it's expanded a bit into just future technology even. So getting into the world of AI and Web3 and IoT and all really exciting areas. So I'm super grateful that he took me along for this journey. And along the way, met some unbelievable people in the space and had the privilege of being able to travel with them and spend time with them. Dr. Wright is one of these people. I mean, Ryan X. Charles, just I could go on and on and on. And then now I do really believe that there are more amazing women getting involved in this space. I can get into more details on where I've observed that a bit later. But I think especially as I expand beyond just straight up BSV blockchain into some of the other areas of technology that BSV blockchain will touch and influence and power. I keep meeting really amazing women and men too, but so I'm psyched to dive into that a bit more in a minute.
Thank you very much, Becky. Alrighty, I'm so excited to dive into the details of what you have just mentioned. But for now, let's hear it first from Sylvia. Then next, we have Prosy Wanyana. Sylvia?
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Chris, for giving us all this opportunity to meet each other, because there are some women that I haven't met yet, but I'm also excited to see some of my ex and current coworkers, lovely Alexandra and Malgosia, that I miss quite a lot now that I'm in PMO. Just by myself, but we also have Raj joining us in PMO, which is very exciting. And I think Raj is also here, and she'll talk if I'm not mistaken. But my journey in BSV or in blockchain started, I think, 3 years ago. Before that, the knowledge of blockchain was mainly based on media and what media would tell us about blockchain. But then I very accidentally took a course at Korea University around blockchain and management. And it changed quite a bit my perspective of what the technology can do. And I think I've been reading, learning, and getting more inspired by blockchain ever since. April will mark my 2 years at BSV Association, and I'm part of the PMO team right now. And very, very excited to be here and talk with you today.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. Okie dokie. Prosy, are you with us?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been fighting with my microphone. So, yeah, thank you so much for having me today. I'm very happy to be here. I'm Prosy Wanyana. I am speaking from Uganda in Africa. Yeah, and my journey to blockchain it is quite interesting. It was driven by opportunity, really. I had nothing good about blockchain the time I actually joined. It was driven by opportunity and curiosity, because at that point in time in Uganda, we had a scandal of OneCoin and stuff, and that, yeah, the story was not good. So and then I get to hear about the Bitcoin program coming into Uganda, and I think I was among the first 3 ladies that joined the BIP program that was sponsored by BSV. Yeah, and from there, I got to learn from people like Todd, and I consumed a lot of content from the Blockchain Academy platform. And yeah, we had a marvelous time, and I got exposed to a lot of knowledge that I really didn't know about. And then it got to remind me of my computer course I'd taken at university, and I started relating to it because previously I had no clue how it was working. And then within that time, I think that's when I met Chris in person. So you guys met Chris online. I met Chris for the first time in person when she came to Uganda. So I think I am at an advantage or something. Yeah. And yeah, we clicked it off, and she was really trying to explain to me what still blockchain was. And that was like, I think 2 years ago. That is 2022. So I think I'm still a newbie to all the people that have been introducing themselves to blockchain. Yeah, and I'm truly excited because with that I get to look at how the problem. Yeah, so the problems we have here in Africa and how we can easily solve them with blockchain. We have a lot of we're still using a lot of paper documentation, because it is not, the technology is not that advanced, or like it's not well embraced yet. That is a story to tell another day. But I've been able to, currently I'm researching on how to reduce things like payments, and which is a big issue here in Africa. So blockchain has given me an opportunity mostly to meet people that have really advanced my career. That is Chris, Patrick, and a lot more people in the chain. And I'm very, very excited to be on this call. So I didn't really kind of introduce myself. Yeah, and we have a background in computer science. I'm a software engineer, and also I'm an educator. I train ladies coding, and that is purposely for them to get another opportunity, another shot to career. So where I come from, Uganda, we are a population of young people. So like 70% of our population is below the age 30. So most of us are out, we can't get jobs, and ladies are really impacted a lot. So that's why we started a program called the Code Queens, where we train young ladies coding. And yeah, Chris, I can talk the whole day, so back to you.
I know. Thank you very much, Rosie. Shout out, Ruth is in the house. Ruth, hello. Shout out to you. Okay, can we call on Vidya from Time Chain Labs? Vidya?
Hello. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you for having me. And hi, Rory. Seeing you after a long time.
Yes, Vidya, good day.
Yeah, good day. So I believe I know Chris, and I've connected with Chris and Rory before. But rest, I believe I'm connecting with you for the first time. It's my pleasure. Thank you, Chris, for having me. And I'm so excited to share my journey to BSV blockchain. So I'm someone, I've done my MBA in management. I did my management post graduation, and I was a marketing grad. I've done my sales and digital marketing activities before, and I was doing well. Something in me shifted during the COVID phase, and I joined HR. So I felt that I was recruiting and I was doing well. So somehow I crossed path with Rohan someday, Rohan Sharan. He is BSV blockchain ambassador in India, and he's doing exceptionally well. And he kind of influenced me with the vision, and he shared who Mr. Wright is. So he introduced this ecosystem to me, wherein for me Bitcoin was just a cryptocurrency. I had no idea that there are multiple set of coins, multiple chains. I only know the word Bitcoin and how people are making money through it, and I had no clue. And Rohan, I crossed paths with Rohan Sharan, and Rohan introduced me to BSV blockchain. And he asked me that you can make contribution here, as I come from HR field of recruitment. You, India has the youngest population, and they are in college. So many people are graduating in engineering and science. So I was helping him in reaching out to multiple colleges in across India, and wherein he was going and speaking and setting, and educating people, like why Bitcoin is just, the surface of blockchain. Blockchain is wholly a different technology, and Bitcoin is just one aspect of it. So he initiated, and we both technically initiated Time Chain Summer of Code. Initially, we were visiting every college, and we think that to expedite the process, we introduced Time Chain Summer of Code. We will be coming next season, in next summer as well, with Time Chain Summer of Code. I would love to share that news with you all. You guys can float this. Rohan has developed 15 projects and trained people how to develop trained students, Future of India, on how to develop blockchain applications. So in this way, he was not only able to teach them that blockchain is beyond Bitcoin, but also they had a first-hand experience. We started with the batch of 1,000 students, out of which there were 280, 300 approx women who participated. And as it is a Women's Day, I would like to share this, that in fact our organization is 65% women oriented. So this year we will be coming again with Time Chain Summer of Code, where we will be encouraging engineering students again to participate and learn how to develop on BSV blockchain. And then as we reach, as we grow, as we touch lives, the chain itself will be prosperous on its own. So that's how I'm on the same mission. And thing that inspired me to BSV blockchain was one thing, that BSV blockchain is IPv6 friendly, and India is ready for IPv6 right now. So I want to be a part of the future that is promising, and I think BSV is one which is going to drive the future. Hence, I trust this, and thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Vidya. Do we have Raj? Raj Shana, are you with us? Okay, some of the ladies are having technical issues, so I'm happy to have on the call as well Ruth. Hi, Ruth. If you can tell us your name, your designation, and how did you get into the BSV blockchain industry?
Sorry, I'm in somewhere that's a little bit noisy, so I didn't quite catch the last thing you said there. My name, and what was the thing you said?
Yeah, your current project, and how did you get into the BSV blockchain industry?
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, well, I mean, I was in BTC first years and years and years ago, like 2011. I know, long time. And of course, moved across to BSV because I could see the point in big blocks. I mean, it was just as obvious as the nose on my face, as it were. I tell you what, I'm currently. Oh, have I told you my name? I'm Ruth Heisman. Sorry, probably a lot of people know me. My current project is a weird one. I'm actually writing a novel about Bitcoin, and I'm currently editing it. So hopefully, I'll be able to publish it soon. And yes, Craig Wright is in it. So I'm having to just wait to get his approval before I can publish it.
That's super amazing. Thank you so much, Ruth, for sharing that with us. Alrighty, I have a question here. Let's go and dive into questions. Of course, to my queen, Dr. Catherine Lipoto, our BSV ambassador for South Africa. My question for you is, how important is it for us ladies to gather and speak about empowerment, unity, and women's rights?
Great question. Thank you very much. Yeah, so just listening to all the ladies introducing themselves and appreciating that we are indeed a global community, right? When you think about a question like what you've just posed to me, I think the obvious answer is absolutely, it's very, very important. I think the issue with a question like that is that in many people's minds, especially members of the opposite sex, some of whom are in this call, and we are very appreciative that they are supporting us. Some people get a little bit concerned when you talk about the importance of women's rights, because some people automatically associate women's rights with feminism. They associate women's rights, especially in the global south, in countries such as where some of us live. There is still, it's a very patriarchal societies that we live under as African women. So a lot of the times when women start talking about women's rights, to many people's minds, the automatical thinking or thoughts that come is, oh, the women just want to take over. They want to be, the ones that run the show. Issues of feminism come up. Of course, it's important to think about reproductive rights. Your SDGs come into mind on all of that. But when I was thinking about this question, Chris, in preparation for this conversation, it actually occurred to me that in a space such as this one of the things that as women we may not really think about as often as perhaps we should, and in fact, one of the things that those who run the world, who are primarily men, have to consider for the future of this world is the right of women to time. The right of women to time. It may sound weird. Let me explain. So a couple of years ago, I happened to listen to a speech by one of, I think probably one of the best orators in this space, Jimmy Wen. And he was talking about BSV, Bitcoin and time, and the association of Bitcoin to time. And that always stuck to me. The fact that, blockchain, Bitcoin specifically, is about, keeping track of time, right? It's time-stamped ledgers. So let's think about time and what it means for women in particular. In particular, African women. I have a very interesting stat that I think is going to shock a lot of you guys here. And that's the following. Are you guys aware that women in sub-Saharan Africa collectively spend at least 16 million hours per day fetching drinking water? Let me say that again. 16 million hours each day in sub-Saharan Africa is spent by women just on the activity of fetching drinking water. Collectively, this adds up to 40 billion hours a year, right? Which is equivalent to a year's worth of labor for the entire workforce of a country like France. So let's think about that in relation to what that means in terms of productivity, the lost productivity that women in sub-Saharan Africa suffer. And the reason for it is what? Because of bad governance, lack of service delivery, poor decisions, corruption, I can go on and on and on. But the majority of women in sub-Saharan Africa are living in substandard conditions. They just do not have time. So when I was listening to all the beautiful ladies talking about the different projects that they're involved in, by the way, I'm not a computer scientist, I'm not a developer, I'm a molecular biologist. I was trained in science. When I was listening to all of these beautiful projects that you all are doing, and I'm thinking about them in the context of a typical African woman who does not have time, I think it's important and it's obvious for everyone to see how and why it matters for us as leaders in spaces such as these. We appreciate that we are all now, the entire world, including African countries and other poor countries of the global south, we are appreciating that the world has now moved into a space of digital economies. But if you have so many people that just do not have time, hence can never participate in these amazing projects, I hope it becomes obvious now for all of us to consider what influence we may have and we should be pushing collectively and individually in our own spaces. But collectively is more important because I think we all know that, unity is power. We do need to influence governments across the world to do better for the rights of women to time. The right of women to time is not anything that you will read about. It is not stated anywhere. It doesn't appear in the SDG list. The SDG will talk about the right to quality education, the right to good health, the right to good nutrition, all of those beautiful things. But I do believe that as Bitcoin ladies, we need to start thinking and promoting this idea that let us use our influence and our technology to allow women more time. Let me leave it at that. Thank you.
That's
May
just so beautiful.
may I add something to it, because I love this concept, and I cannot agree more with everything that you are saying, Dr. Catherine. And this is actually what we are trying to do with our MVP Ask Me. We developed a program, 28-day program, which purpose is to build a habit for women to give them time for themselves, because there are so many things that happening all over the world, and we as women, we've got this tendency that we want to take care of everyone. We've got our hearts on our plates, and we are wanting to help everyone and support everyone, and very often we are forgetting about ourselves. And the tool that we developed together with Małgosia, its aim is to help us women develop this habit to think about ourselves for 2 or 3 minutes per day. It starts very easily with questions like, what is that I'm actually feeling in this very moment? What are my values? Uh, what are my dreams? Do I even dare to dream? And I can imagine that for women Africa, those questions can be even more absurd. But I think we all need to ask ourselves this question from time to time, even more often than from time to time. What is that I'm feeling in this very moment? Because if we are not taking care of ourselves, the world unfortunately is not going to take care of about us. Like, it's, if we're not gonna take care about our well-being and how are we feeling, and if we feel okay with ourselves, we're not gonna be able to help our families, help our children, help our partners, help our communities. So I really second everything that you said, because it's really so close to my heart, and I cannot agree more with everything that you are saying. That yeah, we need to make time and kind of use this time wisely. And I truly believe that blockchain is a tool that can really help us with it.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you, Dr. Catherine. That was just so beautiful. I'm not sure if I'm only the one who's feeling guilty about giving time for ourselves, right? But thank you for making us realize that there's a lot of good things happening in our careers and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's only one body that we're having. So yeah, thank you very much for sharing that wonderful insights. My next question is for the women of BSV. Okay, this question is for Didi, Rory, and Ruth. I super admire you ladies. As you know, you've been part of my journey in the BSV blockchain. You influenced me through your podcast shows, and I love how powerful your insights are when you interview these amazing gentlemen in the ecosystem. My question is, how did you manage to thrive in the male dominated industry, being a gateway to promote their products and applications? And essentially, that video or podcast audios became marketing assets for them in the long run. So please feel free to answer who will go first, Ruth, Rory, and Didi. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Krez. So, to that note of time, I'm currently making 2 lattes and also serving a customer. So, I would say I can jump in after Ruth and Didi, but I'd have to give shouts out to Ruth and Didi because they taught me everything and they set me up for success as a podcast producer. And then also, so many of us, we do work with amazing men, and I think that I just tend to persevere. That's my key, is persistence, never give up. And maybe 1 month or one day you feel like you haven't done enough or you haven't had enough time, but maintain your mindset and persevere. And even if you are a single person doing many tricks all at once, doing some editing, doing some writing, doing a couple day jobs, just keep your mindset and keep going.
Thank you, Rory. Didi, Ruth?
I'll let Ruth go first, if that's all right, because I've got quite a bit to say.
All right. Well, it was a real privilege talking to all these guys, and it wasn't just guys. We spoke to a lot of women as well about their projects. It was really good fun. We had a great time doing it, and I agree. I am pleased to say that these videos that we made are still marketing assets for those businesses, and sometimes they're a pretty good source of information for the newbie to come in and learn about a project from scratch. Because I don't know about you guys, but I find with this blockchain stuff that quite a lot of the time people assume a certain level of knowledge, and it can shut people out a bit because it feels quite intimidating and a bit cliquey at times. Like if you turn up and you've not been knowing about it all forever, it's hard to break in and ask the basic questions. So I'd like to think that what we did was ask all the basic questions that people really, might be a little bit intimidated to ask themselves. So that was a big part of it. But as to the time thing, I think is apposite and relevant to say that we had to stop in the end because essentially we all needed to go and do something to earn some money. So this is a big part of it. I'd love to be able to carry on doing it, but as Didi will tell you, it's an awful lot of work. And essentially, between COVID and my business was failing and health concerns and looking after our families and our homes and all the rest of it, was very hard to justify spending that much time every week making those interviews. So we all had to kind of go off and find something that hopefully could make us a bit of a living. And this is a real issue. But I'm so proud of what we did together. I'm so proud of all the interviews that we made. I think it really fed my soul, and I'll forever be grateful to Didi, Rory, Casey, Ray. I'm forgetting people, all the people who helped, and there were loads of them, especially sort of guest interviewers and people dropping in and out of the conversation. I loved it. We had a real ball doing it, and it would be nice to revisit it sometime. But we're all hard at work making a living, and to be honest with you, in this inflationary environment that we're all in, and we know this is one of the big reasons why Bitcoin is so needed because of the rampant inflation at the minute. We've all got to survive as well economically. So over to you, Didi.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you. Yeah, basically, not much more to say really. I mean, with looking after, there is a Twitter account and everything is still active. There is a Spreaker account, and we found that the biggest audience from Spreaker was actually in India, which was great to know that we were getting podcasts, which just you can listen to on the go, out in India as well. So that was great. There is an Instagram, which again, the last interview was Ted Rivera, who's the My Movies Teatro Blockchain Media video and film and music that I was talking about. We're also on BitChute, so I don't know if people know this, but there's the BitChute numbers for the watching of the videos are actually a lot higher than what they were on YouTube. So obviously then there's the YouTube, and we're also on Rumble. So I was doing, I mean, I know everybody else was doing a lot of work as well, but I was doing about 40 hours a week on this. And it was really educational. And I think that's, from my point of view, that's really what it was that I wanted to kind of do, was educate. I was not happy with all this Ponzi stuff that goes on and being scammed and having people just come at you all the time. So I wanted to sort of just literally go from where we started with Shem and just try and educate people on, look, this technology actually works and this is what you can do with it. And it's not just about holding it, hodling it, and building a big Ponzi scheme. This is actual technology that works. So interestingly enough, we do have more visibility than what people probably think because of these platforms that we're on. But yeah, it was great in that respect, but exhausting. And I will say that for a fact. And because mainly it kind of stopped because this was what I did for a living. And both my best friends died and my mum's got cancer. So I also had to stop so that I could take a step back and just be, more there for my mum. Also, I did a degree and a master's and a PhD, doctorate in divinity. So I actually am at a Minster and I volunteer there and I do vision mixing there and I do a lot of voluntary events there. And I was finding that I was getting extremely exhausted. So I really understand, in a respect, where you're coming from about this time, because if ladies in Africa are spending millions of hours just collecting water, like what else? Where is that time for you as a person to, just step back and just relax and just enjoy life? And it is interesting you bring up that because I was quite interested in passive fog collection. So it's a technology where fog collectors, which are simple mesh structures, are utilized by passive airflow. And in the evening, air passes through the mesh and tiny water droplets condense onto the fibers, and then gravity pulls the droplets down into a collection tray. These are being used in South America. Now, I know like Africa is a different environment completely, but I do know that they work, and that would be one of the ways of just being able. They're really low cost as well, and they don't need much maintenance at all. But it would be one of the ways to be able to give these ladies a bit of time back, so that they can concentrate on other things. And yeah, so I learned so much about this technology and about people in this space and about the the want to actually help the rest of the world, to bring people out of poverty and to give them a chance to, the unbanked, which I said before is 37% of the world, is to give them a chance to be able to be a part of that economic system if they want to be, but through Bitcoin, so that you can trade with the nano payments and the micro payments, not only for, oracles for gambling and betting and all the financial side for the invoices and everything else it can do, and the data storage and everything else. Yeah, it will just help people to be able to trade with each other. There's a gentleman, I mean, I don't know if people know this, but there's a boy that I knew in Nigeria who I've been literally helping for 10 years or so. And I would send him donations. I would go to the post office, and probably if I sent him £30, it would cost me £10 to send it. But through Bitcoin, I could actually just send it. He'd get it straight away within a second, and it wouldn't cost me anything really to send it. Pence, 1 cent to send. So in regards to that, I used to work on a cruise ship as well, and in regards to that, I've seen, especially there's a lot of Filipinos that work on cruises, and they're always sending money back. So again, to be able to send and transfer money from one side of the world to the other side of the world without having half of your wages taken off you in banking fees, I think is something that I found really exhilarating and something that I could really get behind. But yeah, so it was hard work. It was really enjoyable. Learned so many things. So grateful for everybody that agreed to come on. And yeah, I'm still open to, if you want to get in touch and come on because you have something to say and to a wider audience, then that opportunity is still there. But I have to put my own family and my own life at the forefront, especially as my mum has had the cancer. So that's, yeah, so there you go. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ladies, Rory, Didi, and Ruth. You are an inspiration for all of us. So imagine what impact you brought us, right, when we're trying to understand what blockchain is. And your podcast shows are there and ready available around the world. So thank you very much. Now, let's come to Vidya and Prosy, right? We celebrate your leadership in leading numbers of women in technology in India and Uganda. Can you please tell us how active women are in the technology industry in Uganda and India, and if you can give us like, some sort of statistics or numbers, whatever that pleases you, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think I'm going fast. Yeah. So technology still is not where we would love it to be here in Uganda. But recently, ladies have started coming in, and they are so curious about it. So, and this is one of the reasons as to why we started the Code Queens. So, technology is a science, and science appeared here, and I think matches to the rest of the world. Now, statistically, Uganda is not well documented as in terms of employment, how many people are employed, how many are not employed. Really, it's because our economy depends too much on SMEs, small businesses, and we have a lot of those, and some of them are non-formal. So like 30%, if you can maybe Google, you find that 30% of women are in the ICT sector. But most of those are like in the admin roles. So the roles of like software engineering are a bit like minimal because still it is feared. And as the doctor said, it is something that ladies do not have time for. I say that with confidence because I run the program. You start with the cohort with 80 ladies, and by the end of the cohort, you have 30. Why? Most of the times is they've left a baby at home. They have like a full-time job. They can't risk attending your classes on a daily and risk losing that job, which is like a lifeline, So at the end of the day, it is something that we've worked on, and there are very many programs that are coming up, and they are literally looking at ladies. People like Awitu, where they're majorly focused on running cohorts that are only for the women. And we've gotten women that have actually succeeded throughout these programs. I've run the Code Queen for the past 6 years. I've gotten ladies who are earning much more than me. Yeah, I'm still the other side. Yeah, and we've gotten ladies that have been able to get the jobs. So which is like majorly the goal. And still, when we go back to the sub-Saharan Africa, ladies, we are kind of how may I say? So it's a way of things. You look at the opportunity, then you look at what you have now, and then you are scared of letting go of what you have now because you have to chase this opportunity, and this opportunity is in tech. And what we are advocating for is that the ladies can have an opportunity of learning things like imagining the blockchain to solve day-to-day problems that can't be solved by maybe the Web 2. Looking at things like payments, as Didi has said, which is a big thing here in Uganda. And most of the Africa, you send, let's say I can send if I send you $10, I'm charged about $5 to $2. So which is like a steal. So like at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense. We have things like verification of the documents. And you find us ladies here in Africa, or actually majorly not ladies, all of us here, you find like if I'm a software engineer here and I get a job in the US, my certificate is not verified. Sometimes they think I've not studied. I studied from Makerere University. and some of the countries deem our university certificates not verified. So like, we give these opportunities to the ladies because we want them to get remote jobs, get to work with people like from the West, and have that on their CV, because that gives them credibility. So we are building credibility. We are building verification in a way of work and opportunity, so that we can increase the statistic and bridge that gender divide gap, which is a very big one here in Uganda. Lastly, if I can say, still, as I can say, I can't pinpoint how many are working, if I can give the numbers, but statistically still in the events, well, let's say in the courses that we invite for to train people, or maybe web development or software engineering or anything tech related, you find like 70% are not actually 70, like 90% of them are male. And then the few ladies that come, still some of them will drop off. So I think it's something that we really need to, it's something that we are really, as the ladies that are in the tech space, that we are really working hard to make sure these ladies that get curious enough to come through, we get a way of making them stay by showing them that there are some ladies that have made it. We lack role models, and we have to show them there's some ladies that have made it. There used to be this one lady in my cohort who was really stuck in an abusive relationship because she didn't, and she had 3 children. She was just living by the husband's rules, and she couldn't get away with it until like she came to my class and we taught her, and she was able to secure herself a job and get a voice and the zeal to stand up and, and provide for her own family. So looking at gender divide gap, bridging it is still, we still have a long way to go. But statistically, I think we're doing much better than we were before 2020. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Vidya? Vidya? Okay, I think we can come back to Vidya. Let us know if you're back. Thank you very much, Prosy, for that details. Okay, Vidya is here. Okay, no worries. We will get back to you. This next question is for Becky. Becky, I wanted to know how much we all admire you. All the ladies on this screen, right? You are one of the amazing ladies from the ecosystem and from the leading technology magazine CoinGeek. Also shout out to Claire Sildran and Stephanie Tower from the Philippines, right? But since you are the OG in the BSB blockchain ecosystem, we would like to know, how far are we now in terms of women's participation in the industry? Can you cite some significant events where we can say the PSB blockchain ecosystem is now more welcoming for women?
Sure. Thank you so much, and an OG. I love that. As I said earlier, I really do feel like I got very, very lucky that I was invited into this world, and it's been super exciting. Anyway, so in terms of events where I can say the ecosystem is more welcoming for women, I think the real obvious one for me is with the conferences that I've been involved with as either a part of the production company or the media partnership. So that I'm referring to the CoinGeek conferences, which then became the Global Blockchain Conference, which then became the LBC. When I first started going to the CoinGeek conferences and reporting from there and doing interviews with people, I would for sure say it was almost honestly 100% men that I was talking with. For everything from the hosting on stage to the panels to the speakers to it's just very male dominated. As the years have progressed, so I would want to say that was probably, oh God, the first one was 2017 or something like that. And now as we're hitting 2024, I think, while granted the subject matter is a lot broader now, if you have a look at the LBC agenda, the topics go far beyond just BSV blockchain specific projects and speakers. But there are a lot more women, and there will be a lot more women involved. An example I can give you guys is that there are 2 keynote speakers that have been announced, and one of them is a fabulous woman. And the hosts last year for the event, they were both female. And I think having this kind of female participation in these events just make other women feel a lot more welcome. So that's been really exciting to watch. And I can tell you from internally, it's not like people come up to me and say, hey, can you help us find some speakers, but make sure they're female. It isn't like that. It's like, can you help us find some speakers who will educate the audience, people you've come across, and it just happens to be that a lot of them are women now because there's more involved in the space. So I think that's quite cool. Also, just wanted to throw out there that a company I work quite closely with is nChain. And Christine, who is the C-level over at nChain, is an amazing woman. And I've had some conversations with her about how it was really interesting when she first came on board. Pretty much everyone reporting to her, they're all male, all the developers. And she said it was interesting at first because she's like, I don't know how they feel about, reporting to a female. But she's a really amazing example of how you can just walk into an organization and just do amazing things regardless of whether you're male or female. And she's just killing it over there. So I think she's a real inspiration for people at nChain and for people that work with nChain, because it's really nice to see a gorgeous, strong female face leading up a lot of people in that organization. So really positive things to say from my end, I'd have to say. Really good progress, I think.
Thank you very much, Becky. All right, now I've learned that we have ladies in this call who are spearheading the project focus in women's health. I'm genuinely excited to dive into the details of the projects, Alex and Malgosia. Can you please share us more about it? I know you spoke about it earlier, but please have the space.
As I already shared some insight, Malgosia would like to start.
Well, I could just say that I'm really excited about this project because it really makes all my dreams come true. Because ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to do something for the people. And then it changed into do something for women. Because when I grew up, I realized how difficult our situation is, how demanding it is. Because usually we have to do much more better than men to gain the same achievements. So when I realized that actually I want to do something for women, then I gave birth to a girl, to an amazing girl. So she's now my motivation to make the situation better for women, because she will soon grow up, and I would love to have I would love to prepare the world that it will be better for her. So listening to you, all those marvelous women, I truly believe that we can make the world better for all of us. And then if we make the world better for us, for women, it will be better for all the human beings all around the world. So this is like my inner motivation. And the mental health is something that we do have to care about. Like right now, it's the most important subject right now, because there will be so many different challenges, so many different issues that we do believe that blockchain can use to make the better world, and that the usage of blockchain is much broader than we could expect in the past. So yeah, this is our idea, our dream, and we do have this intuition that it really can improve the condition of the human beings nowadays.
So, building on what Mogoshi just said, United Nations listed mental health as one of the 20 biggest challenges worldwide, and I truly believe that currently we are facing a global epidemic of poor mental health, which is compounded by limited access of effective intervention methods, and most importantly, subjective evaluation methods of the protocols that are available. And because of this lack of self-care and limited human resources and limited auditability of the research, this is how the mental health and blockchain came in place. For people who know me a little bit, I always had those two personas. I've been working in tech for over 14 years now, in blockchain for almost 12. But on the side, I was a yoga teacher. I was diving really deep into personal development. And at some point, I realized that enough is enough. And I want to combine those two spheres of my life, because I really don't want to live two different separate lives, right? And this is how the True Me was born. We really believe that preventive measures is exactly what we should be focused on. Our first product, let's put it this way, is what I've already mentioned, is the 28-day program designed to build the habits of finding some time during a day for yourself. How are you using blockchain? So on the first day and on the last day, there is two simple questions. How do you know yourself? How well do you know yourself? And how happy you are with your current life? And then for the next 28 days, every single time you've got a simple exercise, like listen to a relaxation or drop a list of emotions, and you need to choose the emotion that you felt when you woke up in the morning, or a list of your values, and you need to choose the right one, right? So once you complete this exercise, there is a transaction being sent to blockchain saying you've completed your day. And that's it. We are not collecting any kind of data. All we know is the value that you gave on the first day during your assessment, and then the value that you gave to the very same question on the last day of the program. And then, so everything that we know about the user is the delta, so the difference between the first day the result of the first day assessment, the outcome of the last day assessment, and the confirmation that all the 28 days been completed. We are using medical protocols that have been certified by Dr. Paul Conti, Huberman. We are using meditation technique from Zen Buddhists. There are 6 relaxations, which I actually recorded myself, and I composed music to them. And that's the program, right? So we are actually testing it at the very, very, we launched it today, so we are just testing whenever it's going to work. We're starting with the Polish market, however, we've got the English version ready as well. We are discussing the potential of social workers to try whenever this solution works for them, because we know how important it is, like how important it is to have your nervous system relaxed. And that's, I really believe that next to blockchain, the another element which can define your wealth is actually a relaxed nervous system. And we are using those tools, the medical, let's say medical tools, combined with blockchain to really track that this activity took place. So if you're starting the program and it happened that you finished only 3 days, and then on the day number 3 you had a break, then the system is going to take you to the very beginning. The journal is going to stop because there was no transaction confirming that you finished the day, and then it takes you to the very beginning. So you need to start over again and again and again. The amount of trials is it's not limited, right? So the only element is the user getting a bit annoyed by the fact that he or she needs to start again. And the next step is going to be a platform which is going to follow a very similar logic. So the main purpose is going to be to help people build self-care habit, but this time the professionals with whom we are already collaborating going to be able to design their own programs. So all the therapists, coaches, or whoever medical profession is looking into and taking care into mental health and mental well-being, he will be able to design his own program, and leveraging blockchain technology, harvesting no information, no data. He will be able to support his patient in between the meetings, in between his sessions. So that's true me. And yeah, thank you, Chris, again for allowing us to talk about it. We literally launched it today, our social campaign, as already mentioned multiple times, and it's so great to see you guys again, and talk to you again, because I haven't seen you, talk to you in a while, so it's lovely to reconnect, especially in such an amazing day as International Women's Day. So happy International Day to all of us.
Thank you very much, Alex and Malgosia. You know what? I'm so excited to see what the True Me is. Now, I love the name, right? The True Me. And I personally want to dive into the training sessions and the exercises, because at this, for the time being, we're very excited of everything that is happening in the ecosystem. We're bullish about everything, and it's super amazing, but it's like knock knock to my door personally, like saying, okay, lady, pause for a moment and think, right? What is happening? Are you feeling uneasy? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling some headache sometime? Maybe you need to pause and rest and enjoy life, right? So I'm so excited to see what the product is, and hopefully all the ladies here and all the audiences would be happy as well to support Alex and Malgosia to their project through their social media. Just follow and stuff, and you can drop your accounts, your handles on in the comment section, and yeah, let's support it one another. Okay, thank you.
Just super quickly, guys, if
Yeah.
anyone would like to become a tester and just test the English version, just send me a DM and we can onboard you to the program. So we're definitely looking for support.
Yes,
Yes,
thanks for that.
I just mentioned that we do have the English version ready to test.
Amazing, because English is my second language for sure. German or French would be very challenging for me. Anyways, thank you, ladies. Thank you to all ladies. You know what? Reflecting on one of the well-known questions in Miss Universe, what is the essence of being a woman? The answer often revolves around giving birth and bringing new life into this world. Now, in the context of technology and from all these conversations and from all the knowledge and experiences you've just shared, guys, which is so amazing, this conversation is a realization of how the industry really needs women to balance technology and bring a more humane touch, transcending 1,000 lines of codes, beyond these hundred of codes in the back end. Women play a crucial role in applying blockchain technology to various aspects of our daily lives. Within the smallest community, let's just think about the smallest group of community, which is family. we often recognize that women are the decision makers. We are the ones in average, we are the ones who decide what to buy and when to buy these things, right? So we are a walking data. We are the repositories of interest, music and arts, books, movies, groceries, medicine, and more. And so it's just so amazing, to know all the activities that are, that is happening to each and everyone in this call. So to all our audiences, we encourage all of the ladies out there not to be intimidated by technical terminologies in the blockchain industry. BSB Blockchain is trying our best to give libraries and to give, FAQs, resources to reach broader audience, to make BSB, to explain BSB in the simplest manner, right? So join us in filling the gaps with the wealth of contribution that you can make. Let's give birth to new opportunities in the blockchain industry, ensuring that technology reaches every doorstep in every country around the globe with the help of women and, of course, men, right? So, as we say, UNSDG number 5, gender equality. So, it's open to everyone, it's open to all human beings. So, don't be intimidated. Join us. We have BSV Eli 5 every Friday, which is being led by Brett Banfi. Thank you so much for joining us here. Also, we have community channel, which is BSB Discord. We welcome you as well there. If you are looking for a career, right? We also have a job board for those looking to start their career in the BSB ecosystem. We are posting the job listings every week, or you can find it as well at BSB, www.bsbblockchain.org/blockchain-jobs. You can check on our channels on LinkedIn, on Twitter, Facebook, also on Reddit, Threads, also at the YouTube community. We were posting a lot of stuff on those channels. Um, and we will post as well in the comments the links for these channels which you can check out, right? So we'd also like to extend an invitation to everyone to join us to the upcoming BSB Quarterly Town Hall, which is happening on March 28th. So please stay tuned. Follow us on BSB Blockchain. And lastly, again, just to remind everyone, BSV Eli 5 means BSV explain like I am 5. So it is open for everyone. We are simplifying BSV blockchain for education at all levels. So once again, a heartfelt thank you to everyone. Ladies, thank you very much for joining us into this amazing day. Happy Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day to everyone. Let's celebrate our womenness, our curves, our beauties, our gorgeousness. Just say everything. Say it out there, right?
Yeah.
Super, super happy, ladies. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Chris.
Happy
Thank you,
Women's Day,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Bye.
ladies. I love learning from all of you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
so
been
see
lovely.
you and speak to you guys soon next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Great day. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.